Good morning. It is the day after Thanksgiving, so technically, I guess Black Friday. I'm about to head into the Salvation Army. I don't really know if Black Friday is a thing at thrift stores or if we're just going to be business as usual here. I think today they have 50% off all clothes. And even though I've been trying to stay away from clothing for my eBay shop, I might be looking at that stuff just to see how cheap it is, and we'll see how it goes. It doesn't look too extraordinarily busy based on the parking lot here, so I don't know if it's going to be packed in there or not. But after this, I'll probably go to the Goodwill. I think I'll go to two Goodwills today and this Salvation Army, and then head home. So I'm running low. I feel like my death pile. I've been heading into there and taking some stuff out, getting it ready to list, and I feel like there's not that much stuff in there, and I'm worried about running out of inventory that I won't be able to get new listings up at the rate that I want to. So I'm hoping to find some good stuff today. So let's head in here and see how we do.
All right. So yeah, here we go. We're walking into the Salvation Army. I'm all bundled up. It's finally starting to get cold here. They're calling for a big snowstorms tomorrow. I hope we don't get it because I'm supposed to be going to go visit my family. We'll be having our Thanksgiving celebration on Saturday instead of on Thursday. So hoping there's no storm. This cart has only 3 wheels that work. The fourth one just rolls around. Sometimes I take a picture of this sign here that tells you the discount days, the colors, the discount colors. But they also, this is Black Friday, so they also have 50% off all clothing. So I'm going to be looking through clothes today. This section here at the front, where they have clothes right here, I think is either like brand new clothes that just got here or stuff that they think is more valuable for some reason or another. I have found some stuff there in the past, but nothing too great. I'm gonna be looking at some of these toys today a little more than I usually do. Actually, I spent quite a lot of time in this Salvation Army today. I've got this footage cranked up to double speed, so I should have taken a picture of that weird doll with a duck costume, but I didn't. I don't know what those toys were, but they're from McDonald's, Happy Meal toys. Here's a little Care Bear. Some of these small ones can be okay, but that one had a tiny little red stain on his leg, and I didn't want to mess with it, so I put it back. I think it was $1.99. Maybe it could have been worth 15 or 20, maybe more. I don't know. Okay, I am going to buy this guy, a little Macy's teddy bear from 2019. I don't find an exact comp, but there are some from 2020 that sold for between like $25 and $35 if I remember right. I'm going to be going off my memory during this video because everything that I bought today is still in the car. I haven't brought anything in yet. I just transferred this video and I'm doing voiceover now before I've done any more research on any of these items that I pick up. So I spent a little time on this guy actually trying to figure out what his deal is, and I find some, like I said, 2020 ones. I think they're very similar, but they have a green outfit on instead of red. If that's if I remember right. I'm looking there on the tag trying to figure out a date, and not until I got home into the car did I realize he's got a big 2019 printed right on the bottom of one of his feet. So I'm looking at the tag and it says like a string of numbers like 12, 20, 19. No, I see that 2019 right on his foot. So it did. I assumed it was a date, but it didn't even. I wasn't even sure if it was a date. I saw that guy, thought it might be an old pound puppy, but it wasn't. It's just some generic dog. And I don't know if pound puppies really have any value, but that's something nostalgic that I kind of remember. I think it was maybe a little bit past my time, but certainly something I remember from my child. Here's this really weird Jesus It's like it feels like it's made out of a garbage bag that's just been folded and creased to make a three-dimensional figure of Jesus. So kind of creepy. I'm going to look through some clothes here. This I've never seen racks of clothing here. And I'm guessing they're doing this 50% off clothes right now. I mean, they're doing it for Black Friday, obviously, but I think they might be doing it because they're overloaded with clothes in the back because the racks didn't look um, sparse at all. And I thought for sure they would be tons of people in here clearing out everything, but no. So these racks, pretty soon a lady comes and she starts moving clothes off these racks to the regular racks. So I guess these are like the newest things on the floor. And I do find a couple of things here. That was a Brooks Brothers polo. So all these things are half off. I think they're like probably most of them are like less than $3 by the time I do the half off. And then I think that polo is probably going to be like $35. I can't remember. It had some sub brand, Brooks Brothers something. I can't remember, but seemed okay. This is a Marvel Punisher. Looks like a sports jersey, but it's the Punisher. And I'm looking that up, and this is a tough one. This one I kind of went back and forth in my mind. Should I buy this or not? But it seemed like very, very similar ones sell okay, $25 or $30. But I'm not sure if I found an exact duplicate comp, but I'm going to grab it anyway. When they're half off, I think it's probably $2.50, so I sell it for $30. That's pretty good return. We'll try to get 30 for it or whatever we try to get for it. I can't remember, but probably 30 or 35, maybe 25 to 35. So I'm looking at a lot of clothes here, and I'm always talking about lately how I'm not going to be shopping for clothes anymore because I don't like to list it, and I have kind of a lot of it, and it's not the fastest selling stuff in the world. But when it's pretty cheap, I'm going to have a hard time passing it up. And these prices are still high compared to like, garage sale prices or something where somebody will sell a sweater like this maybe for 50 cents. This one's probably going to be $4. I'm trying to find a tag that says if it's cashmere or not. It felt like cashmere to me. This is a Calvin Klein sweater. And I don't know if Calvin Klein has any cachet, but it felt nice. I think you could see my fingers just kind of feeling on it. And I never could find if it was cashmere or not. Or maybe I found out that it was acrylic and left it behind. But let's see what's coming up next. Oh, I'm looking at those Amazon vests. I have a suspicion these are things that eBay might suppress for like their government policy, government supplies policy or whatever it is. But somebody had 4 of them and they sold for like $60. So I got 3 there. I think they're probably $2 a piece. So maybe we get $45 or $50 for them. Or maybe eBay takes it down and says I'm not allowed to sell those. I'm not sure. All cookbooks here, I'm going to pass those up. I don't really like cookbooks that much. And just quickly pass through some DVDs, see if I see anything that jumps out at me. And I don't. So let's go back looking for more books. That's some kind of a video game that just had the sleeve, no disc or anything. It's anybody's guess if that disc is there and somebody just took it apart and left the pieces behind. I have found a lot of lots of books in these kids' bookshelves, but nothing too great today. And it's pretty loaded. I mean, it's overloaded really, so it's hard to look when they're skinny kids' books and there's just tons and tons of them. I'm mostly looking for big sets of the same author, like books in the series or whatever. Oh, I'm trying to remember what color was on sale, so that's why I take the picture right there. I think it's tan and white. So I'm right now. There was a ton of books there by Brad Thor or somebody like that, some kind of popular author. There was a ton of his books, and I was thinking if these are half off and they're less than $1 a piece, I might buy them all, sell them all on a big lot, probably do okay, but they were the wrong color. So pass them up. Maybe next time they'll be green. The sticker will be green, and I'll buy all those books. I'm sure if I could sell a lot of anything, James Patterson, Lee Child, Harlan Coben right there, I'm sure you sell any of those big name popular authors and you have 20, 15 or 20 or 30 books by the same author, you can get probably $3 per book or $4 per book. Somebody wants to get into an author and they want to buy all of their books in one go. I don't see too much here. I'm spending a little bit more time with books than I normally would. This is the Cleveland Indians Encyclopedia, and it's published by Easton Press, which is like, one of the companies that's known for making higher quality books. And I find one exactly like this. There's several that are a different publisher of the exact same book. But the Easton Press one, I find one somebody has listed for like $69, and then I have to go to Terapeak to find any solds. And there are a few sold for between like 25 and 30 bucks. So I'm going to grab that. I think it's $2.99 or maybe it's only $1.99 even. I can't remember for sure, but I'm going to grab that and hope for the best. If one guy thinks he can get $70 for it, I'm sure I can get 30 or 40. I won't try to get 70. That's wild. I guess I'm here I'm going into Terapeak, or I guess it's called product research now. I know it's not called Terapeak anymore, but I still think of it that way. I'm just double checking. So there are definitely some solds. Maybe they're a little bit older. I didn't see any solds that look like that in the last 3 months, but some older ones in product research. I wish that you could just do search for current listings and then search for sold listings and then say, I want to see the ones in the last 3 months, or I want to see the ones in the last 3 years, instead of having to do that separate search through that product research interface. It's not easy. It's not convenient. I also wish they would just put the sold filter right at the top so you don't have to scroll down looking for it. They're not really thinking about making this app convenient for, or really even that usable for doing product research. If you're out in the wild and you have only your phone to search for things, it definitely could be easier. I'm thinking about just putting a list of like everything that I think is wrong with it, and because there's a lot of things that I wish were better, and then just have a list for people to complain about. Just add to the list everything you think would be a better feature. This is it called American Choppers, that TV show? With those guys who fight with each other all the time about motorcycles. But no go on that. It was sealed, so I thought I'll check to see if anybody buys these, but they don't. Spider-Man. I'm still looking at DVDs here quickly, but I don't find any good ones. I usually just really, really skim them quickly. I'm looking for something that's sealed, something that looks special. Criterion Collection logos. That logo jumps out at me really quickly. Here's a Cricut, like a cutting machine. It's called a Cricut Mini, and I guess this one is probably discontinued, and so they have some other product, a heat press, that's called a Cricut Mini heat press. So that's really all the results I was finding was for the heat press. And once I finally did find the cutter, it was like between like $40 and $60, it seemed like. Uh-oh. That was a Toby jug. Can you see him? I'm taking a picture of this guy, this little jug. Some of these things are relatively valuable, but I'm using my ChatGPT research tool here. It doesn't work as well as I would like, but I've written a bunch of prompts for it. Then I created a custom GPT, and I can just upload pictures, and then it will tell me what it thinks it is. It gives me search results from eBay, current and completed, and suggest a possible price value, and a price that I should pay for it if I decide to buy it. I found a similar looking one that sold for like $30, but not exactly the same. And then I looked at the sell-through rate, and I think there were like 200 sold, but then like 30,000 listed or something like that. So pretty bad supply and demand situation. Okay, here's hair set clippers. It's like a clipper and then like a shaper, another smaller clipper for getting in closer and doing sideburns and stuff like that. And it has this American flag pattern on it. And I can't remember if it's called it's called like Operation Freedom or something. This pattern. And these clippers can be pretty expensive. I think this would be considered like a professional level, a barber would use. And so I didn't see any exact comps that had sold of this particular clipper, but there were plenty of, not plenty, but like 3 or 4 currently listed ones that they're asking like 120, 180 just for the single clipper. And I've got 2 clippers in the case for it and everything, and I think it was $9, $9.99 or $8.99. So I don't know what I'm going to ask for that because, like I said, there's no sales. But I'll do a little more research and figure out. But I think I can probably get at least $100 for those 2 clippers in that case. Oh, tie my shoe. Back to business. I know there's money in these hair care utensils. What do you call them? Like vintage hair dryers are tough because I think you can't sell any of them that don't have this kind of a plug, like a G. What is it called? GFI? Ground fault interruption. If it doesn't have a plug like that, I don't think you're allowed to sell them on eBay. And some of those vintage ones, like the style of them is so cool, but if you can't sell them, you can't sell them. And so like curling irons, all that stuff, like some of them are worth a lot of money. There's a hair dryer there I'm looking at. It seems like a professional, like again, like you would see in a salon or something in the 70s maybe or the 80s. But there's no current, no sold from this exact model. So I don't pick that up. I'm gonna leave it there. That little white hair dryer right there. So I got 3 or 4 things in my cart already. Doing okay. See what else we can find. This is fold up meat slicer, and that thing does sell pretty well. I think it's Oster. And I saw that brand name and it reminded me, it's not Oster. It's Rival. I just sold a vintage Rival coffee pot for a decent amount of money. And so I thought maybe this thing could be worth something. And it seems to be worth like $29 to $39. But they were asking, I think, $16 for it. So I'm not going to pay $16 for something like might only sell for $25. But it looked like, if that was half off, I might have bought it. Maybe it was. I didn't think about the colors when I was looking at it. This is like the little catch-all section, miscellaneous stuff, and then we're going on to pots and pans. I looked at this same pot last week, if I recall. This is like, it's sort of a tricky one because it has that handle that looks like Revierware, but it is a different brand. So either somebody replaced the handle on it or that company stole the Revierware handle design. I picked up that baseball bat. It had a huge crack in it. I couldn't really see it with my eyes, but as soon as I picked it up, I touched it with my thumb, and I was like, well, put this one back. Don't even waste any time looking it up. So let's look at some plastic junk. These are like Halloween plates. No brand name on them, or it was like Target brand or something. I'm checking to see if any of these are Tupperware measuring cups. They're not extremely valuable, but people do buy them. Plain clear glass. I'm not spending any time looking at that, but I do like this little pitcher. This little jug. It could be Norwegian glass. It's clearly hand blown, but I looked it up and there were some that sold, but they all had a little stopper, like a little glass ball stopper. That the ones that sold pretty well. Here's some kind of a plastic pineapple. I always pick up pineapple stuff because of our little puppy pineapple. Probably pick up some more before the day's over. I don't know. This little press looks like a tortilla press, but tiny. So I don't know what that's for. But you're supposed to squeeze something between there. Some kind of dough, probably. Yellow paper, I thought might be bubble mailers, and I could use them for shipping something if it was cheap enough, but it was just yellow construction paper. I don't spend a lot of time in this aisle. This is another sort of catch-all aisle of like stuff you might put on a mantle, fireplace mantle. These copper pieces look kind of nice, but they say made in Taiwan, so probably not. They're not solid copper. They're stainless steel on the inside and then copper plated. I don't know what that round thing is for. I don't know what that metal is. Probably pewter. I imagine pewter. This thing looked kind of cool. It just has a P symbol impressed on it. I think it's probably I don't know how you say it. PF, like fall graft, PF. I don't know. This is some kind of Polish. Oh yeah, this fish. I do end up buying that fish. But I'm trying to take pictures. First, I take a picture of the fish, and I don't remember the company name, but I sold like a Shawnee pottery fish that was similar to this, but it's much smaller. And this one, some of those are selling for like $80 and $90. Like I said, I don't remember the company that produced it. It does have a few little chips in it, but it's only $1.99. And I think if a good condition one is selling for 90, maybe the one with the chip will get 30 or 40. So for $2, maybe it's worth it. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But there's those tiny little. There's a little white salt shaker there, and then it had two, which I guess would be creamers, but they looked like they should belong in a church. So maybe they're supposed to be for pouring holy water. But I'm trying to do some photos of those and run it through my ChatGPT tool here, and it keeps telling me candlesticks, which they do kind of look like candlestick holders. But I'm trying to tell it these are not candlesticks. These little things have spouts, and then it says, "Show me pictures of the spouts." And I'm trying to get some more better pictures, but it keeps telling me candlesticks. So I just kind of give up on these, even though I think they might have been something, but I don't know. I mean, they couldn't be too much of anything, but maybe they're. I remember seeing them there last time I was at the store, so they'll probably be there again next week, and then maybe I'll spend a little more time doing some research on those things. I suspect they're probably worth the two of them together $21 or something like that. So probably not anything to get very excited about, but I don't even know how you can really tell. But sometimes you just see something, you pick it up, and you feel like this is better quality than everything else here. And that was the case with those things. They just looked nicer. They felt nicer. That little jug looked nice too, but it was nothing. I think it was like a Big Lots brand sticker on the bottom, or some kind of cheap store. Here I'm looking at that. I just figured like ChatGPT told me the brand name of those little, let's call them holy water jugs, but so I just searched for the brand, and I don't see anything that's similar to them, and nothing selling at like extremely high value with the ceramics maker. This is some kind of Japanese. This is another thing I'm going to take some pictures of and ask ChatGPT, and it tells me it's a sake glass, but I think it's way too big for that. I suspect it was wrong, and that it was thinking it was a much smaller item. It doesn't have anything to judge scale on with these pictures. So I'm going to upload 3 or 4 pictures of that thing, and then it tells me sake glass, sake cup, and then I look at the eBay search results it offers, and I don't get too excited about it. While it's processing, I'm looking at other things. My nose was a little stuffy. My voice, which is nasally enough on a normal day, is even worse today. It was cold out there. Here's a Fiesta Ware bowl. I don't think it was a very attractive color, so I didn't even bother trying to find out if it was old or new. I don't know. I know there's different markings, and I don't have those markings memorized to tell if it's old or if it's new or not. I usually skip this section altogether, but I saw all this ceramic stuff, and I thought I'm going to go and check it out. And this looks like a piece that I sold before, similar, like the quality of the glaze and the size of it. So I'm going to do a little bit of checking, and it turns out it's not the same as the one I sold before, but it is worth buying. They only have 99 cents. I think they do like weird 94 cents things at this Salvation Army. Sorry. So it looks like it's about 16 bucks. So it's only $1, less than $1. I'm going to grab it, try to sell it for 15 or $16. Small little thing. It's not going to take them any space. It'll be very, very easy to ship. So I'm going to get it. See all those there. Some probably selling a little more, 20. Some selling at 10. I'm going to try to get probably 16 for that. I thought I found one more thing there, but I guess not. Coffee mugs. I do find a good coffee mug here pretty soon, but I don't know. I don't know what I thought that color was something. It reminded me of something I wanted to check it out, but I can't remember what I was thinking. This coming up here. Here we go. This is a mug. Car Talk. That's the the NPR radio show. I don't know when that show stopped airing. One of those, I think they were brothers, and one of them passed away, and they were still playing reruns for a long time, and then they finally stopped airing it. And just the other day, I heard a little ad saying, if you subscribe to the NPR app or something like that, you can doing new episodes, but only for special subscribers. So these, it says somebody Bob Carson or something like that. It's very difficult. The brand name is like the signature of the guy. It's these little cream and sugar. It's got a rabbit and 2 heads of lettuce. They are. I thought for sure ChatGPT would be able to decipher that signature. While we're waiting for him to do his work, let's look at that. Sparkly monkey is still there since the last couple of times I've been in this store. That ape, somebody's put Mod Podge on it and covered it with glitter. So I don't think anybody's going to buy that anytime soon. So here I'm looking at those creams and sugars. It seems like they're worth about $20. They're $1 a piece, so I'm going to grab those. Once I get up to the cash register, I do see a tiny little chip on one of them, and I was thinking about putting them back, and then I was like, well, for $2, I'm going to go ahead and leave it. Here's a Puma backpack. I thought for sure this was going to be good. It's brand new. You can see the tags on it. Nobody's ever used it. But I couldn't find an exact comp of it. And I even turned the tag around and scanned the barcode, and nothing comes up. They got $9, and they do that weird stuff. Like it says 9B, which I think is like supposed to be $9.97 or something. I don't know why they do that. But no comps at all. And then other camouflage Puma bags weren't selling for that much. So I didn't want to spend $10. I think it could have been worth as much as like 60 or 70, but I didn't want to risk $10 to find out it was worth only 14 or 13. So left it behind. Again, I forgot to think about the discount. Maybe that was only $5. I'm pretending like I'm looking at these coats, but I'm actually looking up a pair of snow pants that were on the rack behind me, and that guy was standing there right in front of them. I was waiting for him to move, and then he ended up taking them. So I wasted my time searching them because this guy took them. I don't know what they priced them at, but they're probably worth $60 here on eBay. He also tried on a pair of shoes while I was standing there, and I thought, if he leaves those shoes, I'm going to take them. It's mostly all the same coats. I've been there the last few times I've been at this store, so I'm not spending a lot of time looking at these. This one says, it either says Fat Town, FATOWN, or Fat Down, FATDWN. So I searched both of those, and I can't come up with anything. And then I scanned the the picture of the tag and asked ChatGPT, and it says like small streetwear brand. I don't have any information about this, so it says Chicago on it. It looks kind of nice. It feels nice. I don't remember what the price is. I don't know if you can see it on that blue tag, but I was kind of wanting to buy this, but here's ChatGPT telling me probably a small streetwear brand. I've never heard of it. Can't tell you what it is. So I'm not gonna buy. I'm not gonna risk buying a coat. It takes up too much space. It's probably at least $10, with the hope that I can get 60 or 100 for it, even without some kind of evidence that it's going to be worth something. That's too much of a risk for me. So leave that behind. I remember looking at that Rugrats jacket last time I was there. Pretty faded. And as far as clothes goes, I'm going to look at all of these t-shirts, and that's just about it. T-shirts are very easy to take pictures of compared to other clothes, easy to store away, and easy to ship. So I'm looking at t-shirts. Here's a WFM t-shirt. This is a local radio station. I think it's associated with a college, Northwestern or something like that. I keep passing it up, and then I go back and I ended up buying it. I've sold some other WFM t-shirts, but they were all ones that had like artwork that was designed by an artist that had signed it. So you're able to have a little bit of a cross market between let's say people who are fans of the radio station and also people who are fans of the artist who designed the t-shirt. So this one didn't seem to have a signature, but I just looked up WFM t-shirts, and some of them are selling for like $30, $28, $30. I think there were some vintage ones as much as like 48. So I decide I'm going to grab that. Did I take it, or do I have to go back for it? That says get the bag. I looked at that last week for some reason, and it just looks like a high quality print, but no information on it at all. It's just like a generic Port and Company t-shirt, but a long sleeve t-shirt, get the bag. So I don't know if maybe somebody is just like running a small screen printing company and they printed shirts like that. Here's a Buc-ee's t-shirt. I don't think I take this. I don't remember if I take this, but Buc-ee's has fans. It's like, if you don't know about Buc-ee's, it's like a really, really big truck stop. And people really, really love it for some reason. And there's a lot, it's localized, I think, in the Midwest. So I think people in LA or New York or something might want to get a Buc-ee's t-shirt, but they just can't get one because they don't live near a Buc-ee's. Here's a Cubs shirt. I don't know this guy, Baez, but maybe he's super popular. Let's look him up. I just look up Cubs Baez shirt, and comes up with some kind of jerseys, but no shirt like this, so I'll leave it behind. I'm gonna go down by where they have sweaters too. I used to buy a lot of sweaters here at this Salvation Army, and I would just like run my hand along until I felt like the cashmere feel and grab those. Or I'd look for ones that say made in Italy or made in Scotland or something like that. But here's a polo, Ralph Lauren polo. I think it's a nice color. Probably would be okay, but it had a kind of a pretty light stain, but it had a stain there on it. So I don't want to be messing around with trying to clean a stain off, so I'm leaving it behind. I probably, you sell it for $15 or $20. I don't want to spend any time cleaning it for a $15 shirt. How much? I'm trying to get through this video before Jessica gets home. She should be here any minute. So that was a 7-Eleven shirt. I don't know that. I don't really know what's going on with 7-Eleven. I've seen shirts before, and on the inside of them that says like 7-Eleven wear or 7-Eleven brand or something. So it looks like it would just be something that's for staff, uniform shirt. But the way they have it labeled makes it seem like they're trying to sell 7-Eleven as a streetwear brand or something. Okay, I'm thinking about looking at jeans, but I decide not to. I have found some like really, really good jeans at this store. Vintage, what is it called? Rock Revival. Is that what it is? So here's a Dare hoodie. You know, the Dare to keep kids off drugs. So I found one of these. I think sold for like $38, and other Dare hoodies, but only one that had this exact pattern on it, which looks a little bit tongue in cheek. Like it has these happy faces all over it that look like they're kind of drugged out. So maybe this is a joke. I don't know, but for $2 or whatever it is, I'm gonna buy it. Half price. I'm gonna take it. So let's see, where are we going next? Probably heading out. I think that's about it. I'm not gonna look at shoes. Oh, this was an Adidas shirt, and then I kind of wanted to look at it, but a lady was telling me to get out of her way. I guess this is the one I was looking at. I don't remember the brand on it, but it looks crazy. So I'm more interested in crazy stuff than boring stuff. So then she says, "Excuse me," and I moved out of the way. And then she wanted to look at those T-shirts right where I was going to stop and look, but I decided to just scoot. So let's zip it up and get out of here. I do over right by the cash register. I picked up some other things, so you'll see that stuff get listed sooner or later. It's like a tent that goes over a bed for babies, for kids. And I think it was $12, and I think it sells for about 120. So now we're at the Goodwill. We just transitioned to the Goodwill. Got my blue IKEA bag. I never take a bag into the Salvation Army because they still offer bags, but most of these other thrift stores don't. Here's a box set. I mean, it's like the season sets of 24 DVDs, season 1 through 5, and they're all bundled together. Clearly brand new, never been opened. Doesn't have any price sticker on it. I imagine if I took that to the register, they would charge me 5 times whatever they charge for TV sets. But I decided not to buy it. I leave it behind. There I found a sticker and I scanned it, and there were it came up a couple listed but none sold. So no reason to buy that. There's a right there on the right is the rack where they put the stuff they think is a little bit higher quality, like Lululemon clothes, and they usually put like stuff that's not that good, like Champion jackets or whatever. But there's so many people looking at it. I kind of want to get over there, but I have to wait for somebody to get out of the way. So I'm gonna pretend like I'm looking at these DVDs and stuff, even though I'm just really quickly scanning them. I'm not gonna buy any DVDs today. So that lady left. Now there's only one person there. So let's go look at some of this higher priced stuff. Quickly just going to look at shoes. Basically, I didn't see anything too exciting. So heading out. There was a TV right there. A brand new TV. It was $399. It looked pretty big. So I don't know if it's worth that or not, but maybe. Christmas, that looks like some very weird vintage Christmas ornament kind of a decoration. Could have been something, but I didn't want to spend time on it. I just don't like Christmas stuff. I don't know why. I just don't like it. What are we going to find? What are we going to find? I barely find anything at this store. I think I end up buying 2 things. So yeah, this whole trip is going to be mostly just passing stuff up. I want to look at lamps and clocks, but those ladies are blocking the whole aisle. So let's just go to the next aisle and see if there's any plates or anything. There's definitely a weird sculpture. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Why that's with the pots and pans, I couldn't tell you. There's a Revereware lid. They put obscene prices on lids there. I think every lid is $3.99, which seems like a lid with no pot should be 99 cents at the most. So I'm trying to look at some plates. This is one of my, I don't know why, but I feel like I always want to look at tableware and pottery, stuff that's a pain to store and a pain to ship, but I don't know, I just like it. So I'm always looking at this stuff. Some plain white plates, some brand I never heard of. These are Pier 1 big bowls. I think they would be considered vegetable serving bowls. There's two of them. I think they're only 99 cents a piece, which is pretty low for what they how they price stuff there. Most of the plates and things are like $1.99 each. The regular, larger size things. And Pier 1 kind of falls into the category of the IKEAs, vintage IKEAs, and the crate and barrel stuff that people might be looking for replacement pieces for a set they bought when they bought their new home or they got married or whatever. Those two things do sell, but it seemed like maybe $10 or $12 for two of them. I don't want to ship something that big and that fragile for only $10. I must see something across where that guy's standing that I'm searching for right now. Oh yeah, that little portable TV right there. I think it was called Supersonic, so it wasn't a real brand, but it looked old, like early 80s. And I found some TVs that says Supersonic, but not that exact one, and they were only selling for like $25 or $30. So maybe that one was, maybe I missed something there, but I don't think so. I've sold some of those vintage little portable TVs before and done okay on them. What am I finding here? Nothing. Not much. Computer fan. I don't find much here today at all, so I'm trying to go through it as quickly as I can. I don't know what this is. It doesn't belong in that department. Some toys. Toy animals. Okay. This didn't belong here either, but this is something I probably could have bought. It's like a way to store keepsakes from your baby's childhood. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's like all archival, these little drawer systems, binders, and pieces of paper to write down, like this is their first lock of hair or whatever, the kind of stuff that people keep. And it was a nice set, but it sold for like $35 or $40, and I think they had $10 on it. So like to spend 10 to maybe make 35, probably not the best return on investment. So I skipped that. Let me try to take a little pause here and come back. All right, this is Kellogg's Frosted Flakes bowl. It's got Tony the Tiger on it, some vintage cereal box art. And I think it does sell. It's from like 2006, so it's not really vintage. But I think it does sell, but not for a huge amount, maybe for like $6 to $10. So, but it does have the spoon. I don't know if that's the original spoon that came with it, but seems like a matching spoon. I like that kind of promotional stuff, but I'm not going to buy it just to buy it. Bunch of Halloween ceramics there. This thing is cool. I guess it's for serving hot chocolate. So I'm going to take a picture of that and try to find out what it is. And it does sell, but again, such a small amount for such a big breakable item, maybe $12. I don't want to ship something like that unless it's like 60 or 70. Gotta get a decent profit for something you're going to spend a lot of money on materials, a lot of time packing. These guys are pretty cool. These mugs, they were called hipster animals. Didn't really get a good look at them on the camera, but I'm doing some research and I do find them, and they do sell again, like a set of 4 sells for $25 or something like that. So there's 2 of them there. I can't sell those for $12 and feel good about shipping them. But ChatGPT is helping me out on that. It can tell the brand, and it can tell that they're called hipster animals, which I would never have figured out on my own. People talk about using Google image search, and it kind of works sometimes, but I don't have good luck with it. In eBay image search, I never have a good luck with. You'll get you take a picture and you'll get 20,000 results of things that don't really look like the thing you're searching for at all. And you cannot you can't sort those results in any kind of an order. So if you want to see cheapest to most expensive, or most expensive to cheapest, to however you want to sort it. You just can't do that. And how are you going to look through 20,000 or 30,000 results to find the same thing, to find comps of what you're selling? That's Las Vegas tankard, I guess. It looked pretty old. Thought it could be something, but they must have made those in huge quantities, because there's tons and tons of those listed, and none of them really selling. I started by searching on ChatGPT, and then I'm like, well, let me do image search on eBay, and then so many of them are coming up right here at the beginning for $6, $7, $10. I'm not gonna buy that. Oh, that's a cool looking teapot right there. Looks like it's missing its lid. This is a cool teapot too. I can't remember what it said on it, but it was something kind of funny. Put it back. Do I see this lady here? There, maybe I went past her already, but there's a lady I run into here sometimes. She's a competitor, I guess. She's definitely a reseller. And when I bought over $400 worth of designer plates and bowls and stuff there one time, and she was there kind of competing against me, trying to grab the same stuff, and we're trying to make a uneasy truce, and you take this, I'll take this. And I've talked to her a few times about her business and stuff, but we're not great friends or anything. But I see her and I give her a nod or a wave. She does the same. So I went past her a minute ago. I'm not sure if I saw her on the camera or not. I should kind of I was thinking about starting a reseller community here and just have people get together and discuss whatever it is they need to discuss. But I feel like if I was going to do that, I'd have to be the one creating agendas, and if we want to have a speaker or something, I'd be organizing it, and I don't have time in my life for that. It's just a regular tumbler. It looks like tiki mug style, and it says aloha, and then the words after it I couldn't decipher because of the font they chose. I couldn't tell if it was L's or I's. So I'm looking that thing up, and I don't get any results on it at all. And here's a little tumbler. It's like a travel mug that has a little thermostat on the top, I guess. Tells you what the temperature of the inside is. And I was hoping it was something that would keep temperature, because I'm trying to get away from drinking soda and stuff. So I started about 3 years ago. I was going through a phase where I wanted to force myself to like tea, which I never have liked tea. So I was like, I'm going to try a new tea every day until I find one that I like. And I'm sure I talked about this before on here. I finally found the tea that I liked. It was a licorice-based tea. And I found out that licorice is kind of bad for you. It affects your blood pressure. And this package says something like, do not drink more than once a day. Do not continue to drink after 6 weeks. So you're not supposed to drink it. You can't drink it twice a day. And you can't even drink it once a day for more than 6 weeks at a time. I don't know what kind of a break you have to take in between, but you're not supposed to be drinking that stuff. So I just saw somebody left some tea at work, and I was like, let me just try this and see if I like it. And it was actually pretty good. So I was like, okay, maybe I found my tea. This is the tea I like. And I made a couple of cups of it and found out that this stuff is way too hot to drink for most of the time. And then it's like perfect for 1 second, and then it's too cold. So I was thinking I need to get a tumbler specifically for tea to keep it at the temperature I want it to be at. And I don't want to spend a lot of money on one of those fancy ones that heats up, keeps it at a certain temperature. But if that one did that and it was only $4, I would have been happy to buy that. But all it did was tell you what the temperature was. So I don't really care what temperature it is. I just want it to be a temperature that's not too hot, not too cold. Anyway, probably not going to become a tea person, but maybe I will. I don't feel the need to force myself to acquire a taste. So I was just going to try a bunch of different teas. This I could have bought. It was a Shure microphone case, $5, probably worth 25. But I was thinking about, like, it's not that big, but it's big enough. It's going to be a little bit of a hassle to put a box around it when I have to ship it. And you're only going to make $16 profit on it or whatever. So I eventually I put that back. I don't want to bring a lot of big stuff in the house unless it's going to be have a good return, and this is not going to be a good enough return. There's only a couple that I found that were actually Shure branded. There was a bunch of like aftermarket brands just using Shure in the title. I'm trying to see if the foam comes out so I can find a model number or something, but I just decided, all right, put it back. It's too big. But I kind of regret that because I got such so little here today. I think I only really buy one item here. I buy two things, but one of them is off camera and it's for my own use, not for resale. So this thing is a space pod cardboard thing for kids to play in. Looks like a lunar module, but I don't see any sales of it, so not gonna buy it. But I thought I just bought this tent that goes over a bed for kids, and it's worth $100. Maybe this cardboard thing's worth something too. But no. Don't even remember. Oh yeah, I do. The stuff that I buy here, none of it is on camera. It's I buy like a little pillow to take into the bedroom, a little sleeping pillow. I buy one of those. They have a whole bunch of them by the cash register that are brand new, still sealed. And then I also buy a camera lens that was up by the register too. So pretty soon I'm going to shut the camera off, and then I make one last pass by the cash register, and that's where I find those two things. So camera lens, that's like $20, and I think it's worth about 90, but camera lenses, risky, you don't know if they work or not. So I took the risk on it. I'm going to buy that thing anyway, but you'll never see it. I mean, you'll see it once it shows up in my shop if you want to take a look there. And maybe I'll post about it when I actually get around to listing it. But this thing looks like it's a belt. I don't remember what the brand on it was, but it said transfer belt. And I was like, what is this? It kind of the colors remind me of Hudson Bay Company. So I thought maybe this is something, but it turns out it's a belt that's supposed to help you transfer. If you're like a caregiver and you need to transfer somebody who is bedridden out of their bed into a wheelchair or something, you use a strap like that somehow to help lift them. So there were some sales on that, but maybe only like $6. I think that people who need that stuff get it supplied to them from their work or from hospice or something like that. All right, here's a box of photo paper, like for darkroom photography, and here's like these pads that once you've printed your photos and they're wet, you can put them in those pads to dry out. And I thought this is old, so there's no way of knowing if this paper is still good. Like somebody might have opened the box and exposed it to light and it's just garbage now. But I thought that maybe somebody wants to buy vintage photo paper for experimental photography stuff. But I don't find anything. I don't find any boxes that look like that, and no sales. There's a couple people selling that model of paper. I don't remember what it was called exactly. There's another pineapple. There's a couple of people trying to sell boxes like that for like $250, but there are no sales whatsoever. Some particular brands of Hawaiian shirts are pretty valuable. I don't remember the brand on this, but it's in the wrong section. I think that's a woman's blouse based on my research I'm doing right here. And it's nothing that's worth buying for me. So leave that behind. I'm leaving everything behind. I think I might be calling it right here. Pretty soon here. I usually like to look at sweaters for myself. before I leave, but there's two guys who are look like resellers to me who are blocking that section. So I'm deciding, okay, that's enough. Let's pack it up and get out of here. So right when I pass by the cash register, that's when I find those two other items that I end up buying. So there we go. We're zipped up, and now we're at another Goodwill. This one's a little bit further away. It's like a 20-minute drive for me. I left my bag in the car, so I went back for it. This one I do find a few good things. I actually find some pretty decent stuff right away. They have these carts that the wheels lock up when you go outside, so you gotta. I'm always just bringing a cart in with me, so I tilt the wheels up so I can get it in. As soon as you get it in, the wheels free up, and you're gonna roll it like normal. So I'm trying to do my good deed for the day and bring a cart in instead of taking one that's already inside. So board games. Let's look at some of these board games. Here's one called Who Killed Mia. It's like a mystery game. Jessica and I like doing those games, like the Hunter Killer games. Actually, today I sold a Hunter Killer item puzzle. I don't know if you've seen those advertisements. They're games. They're not really games. They're like, it's like a whole bunch of clues to a mystery, and then you have to try to solve the mystery just by reading like news articles and stuff. This is a little Tomy bowling ball game. It now that I'm thinking about it, is it supposed to have some pins, bowling pins? Maybe I shouldn't have bought that. I've sold those before, the bowling ball game, and it's not like a huge profit, but it's only $1.99. I think it's probably worth $22 or something like that. But if it doesn't have all the pieces, and now I can't remember if it does, then it's not going to be worth selling at all. Maybe I can sell if the bowling ball guy works. It's like a wind-up toy. You set it on one end of the alley, and it just wanders down to the other end and knocks down the pins. If that little guy works, I can probably sell him individually, even if the rest of the parts aren't there. At least get my money back. Or maybe it's worth $22. I can't. I don't remember how it works, if it comes with pins or not. What am I looking at? Oh yeah, right here on the floor are blow molds. So there's Joseph and Mary from a nativity set. Blow molds. There's no little baby Jesus, but there's also probably a wise man or a shepherd or something. Wise man. It looks like he's supposed to have something in his hand, so I leave the wise man behind. These are Empire blow molds. They have a date on there. You can't see it on the camera, I don't think, but I'm pretty sure they're 1982. So they're not like the oldest ones, but they have cords. So that's something. I think those two together are probably worth just around $100 or maybe a little bit more. And one of them was $4.99, the other one's $6.99. I don't know why they chose to make one $2 cheaper, but I snatched those right up. And this is a Speed Racer digital camera for kids. I think it's $5. I think it sells for about $30. So this store is doing me good right off the bat, and I had other things I wanted to do today, so I was thinking, like, as soon as I found these things, I was thinking maybe I can just skedaddle, get out of here right now. I found some decent stuff, but I decided to stick it out and hang around a little bit longer, keep searching, and I do find a few more things, I think. I think that's just a flashing light to like a safety light if your car breaks down. Red light to warn people that you're on the side of the road. It said some car. What's the name of car magazine? Auto Trade. I can't remember. Well, I'm gonna take a bathroom break here real quick. So, put the camera in the coat and then come back out. I really needed to use the restroom at the last Goodwill, but I didn't want to pause, so waited until I got here. This guy right here on the left, I'm passing, he is at that store every single time I go there. He stands right there in that spot. It doesn't matter if it's like morning or noon or night. He's always there if I go there. And I know he's a reseller, but it feels like there's got to be other sources. That thing I just picked up is a little antenna for Sirius radio. They have $5 on it. It looks like it's about $45 or $50. So I thought it's probably old and it's not going to be worth anything, but yeah, $50 maybe we'll get for that. So we'll see this guy here. I do sometimes walk past his cart and I see he's got stuff stashed in there that I would like to have found, but I can't believe he didn't find these blow molds. He stands right by in that spot where they push the new carts out, and he's the first guy to see all the new carts. And I guess he's just there all day, every day. And I don't feel like that's the most practical way to find new inventory for your reselling business, but I guess he's doing fine. Sometimes I see him, like there's other people there, regulars who stay and chat with him. He's got a little Monopoly game that could be worth something. I don't know. So okay, let's look at some appliances. That's a vintage can opener, and the barcode. Sometimes barcodes don't. They must reuse them after a certain number of years because sometimes they turn up something else. So I scanned that barcode and I think it was some kind of Transformers toy stuff. So I searched by the name and the model number, and it's not worth. It's maybe worth $10 or $12. So put that back. Hamilton Beach. What else am I looking for? I think I might be looking for it by name right now. Hamilton Beach can opener, so yeah. Nothing comes up. Nothing valuable comes up. So keep it moving, keep it moving. Popcorn popper. This is a Coleman brand popcorn popper to pop popcorn over an open fire, like a campfire. And I did very well on a couple of Coleman lantern type items. And so I am just looking up everything Coleman now just to see if it's anything. And that thing does sell for sure for $10. Seemed like it sells pretty well for $10, but I'm not interested in it for that little amount of money. They probably have $4 or $5 on it. So can't spend $5 to make 10, and then in the end you make 2 after fees and everything. Probably maybe make $3.50 on that. This lady blocking the aisle. I try to be patient, but I have less patience every day with people. I see more and more people they'll just park their cart and then walk around and leave their cart blocking the aisle. This cool looking cat cookie jar seemed like it'd be worth something, and it sells for about $30, but it's a huge ceramic product. I'm not going to sell that and make $20 on it. I need to sell that for 60 or 70. I had a similar, like I had a bowl that looked very similar to that, like a beehive shaped. I think it was Hall pottery. And I think it sold pretty well, but that one didn't have any marking on the bottom, or if it did, it was covered up by one of these godforsaken price stickers that you can't get off. I tried to just peel it back to read underneath, and it just tore into shreds. So could have been a maker's mark under there, but I didn't see one. White plate. Put the ones together that go together. I do a little bit of rearranging here. Those two bowls go together. Put them together. I'm looking for white plates. Crate and barrel mostly, I guess. Dinner plates, I think, are the ones that break the most, so that's the ones I'm most interested in finding. I can't remember, what am I trying to get? Oh, this brand is called Modern, MODRN, and it's pretty difficult to search for. eBay's like constantly trying to correct it to the proper spelling of modern. So I was having a hard time, but that's another thing where you pick it up and you can tell right away this is a higher quality than everything else here. All this other run-of-the-mill stuff, this feels good. So I'm trying to search just for the picture and nothing comes up. Like, that's what I'm talking about. eBay image search. It showed me hubcaps that say Honda on them, and this thing says modern. I guess image search can't read letters. I don't know what it can do and what it can do, but it couldn't find that bowl, that's for sure. Those are like pasta bowls. I can't remember the brand on them, but not worth buying probably. Maybe they were, who knows? I left them behind. I think there's a brand called just White, and I've been seeing those a lot lately. I don't know if they're any good, and it's pretty difficult to search for something just called white. I like old staplers. That one was $3.99, which is outrageous for a old broken stapler at the thrift store. If it was 99 cents, I probably would have bought it, even though I probably couldn't even sell it, but I don't know. I just like those things. I can't tell you why, but I'm drawn to them. Old office supplies, hole punches and stuff. I like all that stuff. Probably could have looked at these golf clubs, but it's too time consuming. I left those for somebody else. Where are we at? I think I'm just like running out of steam here, so there's a couple more places I need to look, and then we're gonna scoot out of here. This is mostly like beauty supplies kind of in this area, I think. It's like a weird mix of like home repair, Home Depot type stuff and beauty stuff. All of those little bins, I wish I had the time to just look through every one of them, but oh yeah, that's why I decided to look, just see. I'm still looking for the first issue, the first volume of the series of Unfortunate Events books. I have all the rest of them, and I kind of want to just read them. I don't know that I need to read them, but I kind of want to, and then I'll just sell the whole lot altogether, complete set. But I got to find that first book first before I can do that. I got almost all of them in one trip to the Salvation Army, and I spent so much time looking for there's 3 that were missing. I just kept looking and looking, and I couldn't find them, but I did finally find I had all but the last 2. I got those recently, I think maybe on a video, and then I just need book 1. So I want to do it the old-fashioned way and find it, just like have it turn up. This kid on her phone blocking the entire aisle. Her mom tells her to get out of the way, but kids are always blocking the aisle. So there we go. We're done tonight. So thanks for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow night.